It is 5:31, and I'll call the Recreation Commission meeting to order. There's a packet on the back table for you, Nick, if you'd like. Thank you, everyone, for coming. First on the agenda is reorg. And doing the minutes, I realized we did not do a reorg in June, so we need to do that. We'd be looking for a nomination for president. Chairman, I'm sorry.
I nominate Ryan Hogan.
Anyone else interested in the chairmanship? You want to move on up there here?
I'm good.
All right. I guess we'd be looking for approval for Ryan Hogan to be the chairman for another year.
Aye.
Aye. All right. I'll be looking for a nomination for vice chair.
Nominate Hannah.
Good to go, Hannah?
Sure.
Any other nominations? All right. All in favor of Hannah as vice chair for another year, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, both are unanimous. Quick and easy.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to number 2, discussion with the state grant for recreational purposes and spending of the 2024 Recreation Commission budget. So just as we're talking about this, the first 2 pages here in your packet, one's an email from Jean, the finance director, one's an email from Matt. I'm just talking a little bit about the $20,000 grant that was approved in the state budget last June. We just found out about it in February, so time's a waste and we got to get going on spending that. As we talk about this, I also want us to remember we increased our budget from $3,000 to $5,000 from the town, so we do have an extra couple thousand to spend as well. I've invited Nick Nason, president of baseball, to come talk about any of the priorities he thought the baseball program has. And then I have an email from the soccer president as well we can talk about afterwards. Nick?
Yes.
What do you got for us there, sir?
Oh, I got a big list.
I'm sure you do.
I guess we can start at Martin Road. But it looked like that email focused on soldiers, but Martin Road is in need of 4 new dugout roofs.
Okay.
Disrepair, leaking. Improvements or enhancements to those fields would be outfield fencing on both the upper and the lower field. Improvements, enhancements to the lower field would be to redo base pass and add a pitcher's mound to make it a legitimate Cal Ripken field. And then some additional lighting in that parking lot and down in the lower field. Lighting is definitely an issue up there, especially with the hijinks that go on probably up there after dark. Lighting's not that good, so I don't know what runs up there for electricity, if there's anything that runs up there, but
Not to the lower field.
yeah, so. That's my Martin Road list. Not a whole lot down there. The roof's probably the critical thing
I
down
would
there
agree with that.
for safety and sustainability down there.
Do we know how much those cost? No.
I don't.
No, I was thinking like 1,000 a roof, 1,500 a roof.
Yeah.
Shingles, labor,
The smaller roofs, yeah.
yeah, depending upon plywood if that's needed. So
Okay.
yeah, I would think 4 to 5 grand probably for 4 roofs down there would be kind of a guesstimate.
Yeah.
You know. Moving on to soldiers, we'd start with the field house. That roof is in need of replacement. That's probably the biggest expense down there, the roof, if we're talking about physical structures. Along with the field house, you've got 4 windows that could be replaced. They're all rotting in the sills. $250, $300 per window, per labor. That outdoor decking on the back there, safety-wise, if anybody uses it, you know, that could be replaced, repaired. Siding, it's that beautiful green now. I don't know if we want to change that, but at some point in time, probably the siding would need to be replaced. Storage down there, if we do get that cargo trailer removed, we would need to replace that with some type of storage facility, a shed, so that'd be an enhancement upgrade to that. Of course, the walls all the way around the entire complex are in disrepair. At some point, safety would be an issue with things coming off during play or just, you know, running into them and then breaking apart. So, I mean, that's a pretty substantial project. Not even, no clue what the price would be. We're talking a sheet of plywood all the way around. If we were to go that route, I mean, what's a sheet of plywood now? $60 to $80 a sheet. So, and we need a lot of sheets of plywood. So, I mean, I would think that's 10 grand alone. If we were to get into the weeds with replacing all that. We're totally taking it down and finding another alternative type of fencing for the entire complex, but I know you like those green walls a lot. but-
Yeah, I think I would like to hold on to that type of wall, if at all possible. I think people would be upset to see it go, but I think a black one with green backdrop or whatever looks nice too.
Concession's in good shape down there. You know, the only thing concession in those bathrooms, maybe some paint for the floors to have a good cleanup. So we talked about fencing. So fencing on the small field too. The only thing that I don't know who owns it is that fencing on the road. There's a bunch of holes over there on that roadway fence, if that's even an issue. Netting. Netting on the small field, that wall one, that's gonna have to be replaced at some point. There, I was getting some holes in there, it's getting dried out. It probably should be replaced. And then the other two projects that we've had on our list for a long time would be resurfacing both fields. So starting with the smaller field, bringing it in from the outfield grass area all the way into the backstop, peeling it off, redoing it, new mound, new home plate, and then resodding the field and starting fresh. Those prices, just for the small field alone, we've gotten some quotes over the past 5 years, anywhere between 20 and 40 grand, just for the small field. And the big field's gonna need it too at some point, so I would, you know, that's gonna be a little higher if we ever get over there to do that, so. That's pretty much our list down there.
It's a lengthy one.
Soldiers is a heavy price tag. I mean, there's a lot that can be done to repair, replace, and sustain what's there. You know, no rail enhancements down there. It's really kind of enhancing what we already have. So, but Mine Road, on the other hand, I think that's an easy one. You know,
Mhm.
dug out roofs and that place is pretty much all set. So,
So, do you have a quote for the roof on the clubhouse?
I think that'd take most of the money allotted,
yeah.
just in today's economy.
Yeah. And again, the structures don't serve any purpose for the kids, right? So if we're focusing on something that's gonna be beneficial for the kids, dugout roofs, you know, some type of resurfacing on the playing surface, fencing for safety, if we're kinda looking at it that way.
So unfortunately, the grant has to be spent by the 30th, so I don't think resurfacing is, you're not gonna wanna resurface before the season, so that's probably out for this go-round.
30th of,
June.
So, there's a little lag in the communication to this commission about the money being available, so we're kind of trying to catch up a little bit. Okay. So, sounds like you'd say Martin Road would be your number one priority, the dugouts there.
yeah.
What at Soldiers would you, so,
If we were going short money at soldiers, I'd probably start concentrating on the walls, you know?
I agree.
You know, start with the small field, facing the small field. You know, this, I think I counted 30 panels at one point there, so 30, I mean, that's $3,000-ish if we're gonna do panels, and hopefully nothing's behind there and paint. And that's no labor, you know, that's just get materials for us to do it ourselves. You know, and then chipping away at the other side somehow. You know, so if there was an allotment, say, all right, here's $3,000 for the walls, get as much plywood as you can, and then we just do the small field and then start chipping away at the big field, you know, the bad spots with what we got. Bleachers, we've talked about bleachers.
Mhm.
You know, those are probably a repair thing. That other option isn't available anymore.
Oh,
I
okay.
talked to him about it, so. We could buy a whole new set, right? Those aren't crazy money.
Yeah, I think the ones at Martin Road we bought were like $4 or $5 grand for those aluminum ones. They're not huge, but
I mean, that'd be a quick option to to spend, deliver, done type of thing, and a real quick, nice improvement for.
We had them come in a box and we put them together ourselves.
Yeah, so. Pick a side, pick that visitor side, those are probably the worst, and, you know, the disrepair, or on the third base side, rather. Those ones over there are probably the worst, ones closest to concession are okay.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Nick?
As a group, what would be your priority?
I think I'd hit up Martin Road first, you know. Younger kids are up there, you know, it gets a lot of use,
Mhm.
the T-ball, softball, I mean,
How are the fields there?
they could, I mean.
Not terrible.
No.
No,
There
we
was an
keep
issue
up
with
pretty
water.
good. Yeah, we
up there.
put a new drain behind home plate a few years ago with the top field. So that's helping tremendously.
Yeah. But there's no
Things like a
sprinklers,
desert
right?
that
There's no
drains.
sprinklers.
Yeah.
No, there's no water
But
up
it's
there.
two dirt infields too, there's no grass in the infields.
Right. Right, coach pitch is good up there, T-ball's good.
Yeah,
and then the
softball
softball's great,
and,
you know, so. Yeah.
All right, so kind of our game plan is to get all the projects tonight, give ourselves a couple weeks to digest, Nick, and then,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna try to meet here in a couple weeks and then try to make a decision and get it rolling.
Maybe we should get some firm pricing.
Okay, could you maybe work on that for, do we wanna give them I don't wanna make a decision, but do we wanna give them 3 or 4 things we think the committee's interested in so that we can focus on, or? I would say the dugout roofs.
I think the
plywood.
dugout roofs, the plywood on the, in my own opinion, you
Yeah.
guys can,
Yeah,
the plywood on the walls,
yeah.
you know, I don't know if you have bodies that wanna do that as a volunteer thing or not. It's harder and harder, obviously, to get volunteers.
John?
Corey down there, Jake.
Jake? Yeah, exactly.
Adam, John, little John.
Is there any chance for inmate help with that?
That program is going,
They don't do that?
yeah.
No.
They don't even have that program anymore, because they don't, those people just, they're wrong,
Is
they're
there
out.
anyone that has needs like a senior project or?
The Boy Scouts did some stuff last couple of years, you know, they took on that bleacher
They
project,
did.
that was a lot of work.
The bleachers, might be
Um,
good for them.
We can-
You know, they're older kids, so if they have a project coming up and we do get materials, we could probably wrangle them in for some time.
Cognizant about the manpower, I wonder if
Yeah.
we can buy the lumber
And plug away at
and
it.
plug away and just grab, 5, 10 a weekend
Yeah.
up until the point. Can we do that?
Just
Why
need to
not?
store it, keep it dry, right? So that'd be the only.
Find a place in town to put it, if that's what we choose to do.
Right, it doesn't have to be down there. Say, hey,
Right.
go get 10 sheets, we'll give you 10 sheets today, you know, so.
So if we can get some pricing on those, then we know better,
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
you know?
Yeah.
Plywood, roofs, lumber for the bleachers, those are the 3 big ones.
Throw some paint in there.
Paint, yeah. So if we do go over 10,000 on a product, we gotta get 3 quotes. So that's
Well,
according to the town.
yeah, it is, it is, but like if you're doing roofs, that's one project.
Yep, yep.
You know, so,
Right,
but,
right.
yeah,
Yes,
you're
but
right.
just
Yeah,
let's-
yes, correct, you are
I
right.
don't wanna say we don't wanna spend 10,000 on a project, but just keep in mind, time is short, and
Yeah.
that's gonna certainly lengthen the time
Yeah.
to get bids and that sort of stuff. Quotes, so.
Well, that gives you some flexibility, the plywood,
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So that alleviates some pressure. You don't need $10,000 worth, but you're already on your way to spending it, which is
Right.
good.
Right. Okay.
and I think that's pressure treated plywood, am I right?
It should,
Yeah, should be.
Okay, anyone have anything else for Nick?
I don't.
You're welcome to stay, Nick. You're welcome to hang out, or... The 4th page in your packet is the soccer president is out of town this week. So he sent an email, he could not get anyone to come. He's looking for $5,500. to help at the soccer field behind the old VFW. I don't know how many are familiar with that. When they're playing parallel to the parking lot, where woods behind each side, shots go wild, chasing through the woods. Those nets are in rough shape. I think he might even said they've taken them down. So that would be a thought as well. I can reach out to him and get a firmer quote.
Is this an installed price or it's
Yeah,
just?
that's a good question. So I will reach out to him and try to get a little more firm price on that as well. Because that seems a little light for installed, I don't know, just looking at it.
I agree.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that would be from soccer. I did not hear from anyone else. I don't know if anyone else has any other proposals or anything they would be interested in.
Basketball have any needs?
We're in pretty good shape financially, so I think I prefer to focus on the outdoor issues that the town has. And the pickleball lines, the floor was redone, so that's in decent shape. Ben. So I don't think we have, the bleachers are eventually, the only thing I'd say is those bleachers are getting, the wear and tear of opening them and closing them every week
Those
is,
bleachers are old.
they're starting to really get to them. That's what I say, in the past, before pickleball, we just leave them out all winter. We'd even screw some plywood in to kind of keep them a little bit more stable. But now that we have to take them in and out once a week, you got to push from below and kind of haul from above, and so at some point those are going to have to be either repaired or replaced. I don't even know if we can repair them. But I don't think that's an urgent issue at this time. So, anything else on the recreation grant and spending our budget for 2024? Okay.
Well, is there anything we can do with the pickleball area? Did they accomplish all they needed with fencing?
I believe they raised the fence and I know there's a great crowd playing.
Oh, yes, yeah. Wasn't the last thing that we talked about was the net from the going down the hill? Did they get the
They
net?
put some fencing up
They did,
above
okay.
the fence.
That's right. I remember that was the last thing that we talked about.
I think they might have put a temporary fence on
Mhm.
over by the police, right? The police
Right, that was the hill, right, that they were talking about?
Yeah, so I think I haven't heard from them.
Okay.
I've been back and forth with Donna on a few small issues, but nothing major came up this winter, so I believe they're pretty happy. So we're gonna pass over items 3 and 4. I spoke to Lisa via email this morning. U Street is still missing some paperwork, and I believe Tim Wright, the Board of Selectmen, reviewed the Webster Street parcel for the fishing game last night.
We did a couple, did you say fishing game?
I think,
That,
or maybe I'm misremembering what she wrote, but
do you have a background? But if
I
I saw
don't.
the map, I could tell you if we did
I
it.
don't. But Lisa said you did, so.
Yeah. I trust
Lisa said you
Lisa.
guys issued a letter of support for,
We did do that for a property, if
For-
it's this one.
yeah, that's the
yes.
one. Yes, so.
So we're good.
There'll be no need for us to discuss those. Number 5, while we're here, we've gone back and forth on one signature for the National Grid bills, but since we are gonna meet here,
It may actually happen.
twice within 3 weeks, I thought we might wanna take a vote on that. Jen, are you still willing to be the
Yes.
signatory?
Yep.
Make a motion, Jen, Sarah, voucher signer.
Second.
So we're just doing that for the National Grid, correct? Or all signatories?
Ooh, trick question.
I think I'd prefer to, we don't have much besides the National Grid, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be good if we're gonna get projects
Yeah,
for
we-
baseball,
we
with 3 of
all
us
know
take a
what's going on.
peek a
Yeah.
look at it, so.
Sure.
I guess I'd be looking for a motion to approve
National
Jen
Grid
as
bill.
one signatory for the National Grid
So
bill.
moved.
Second.
Motion by John, second by Tim. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
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 So Jean typically asks that we approve the meeting minutes, so we'll do that hopefully at the next meeting, and then we can send her over, and hopefully she'll be happy for now. Number 6, meeting minutes. So I have 3 packets of meeting minutes, so only 1 or 2 pages. Why don't you guys take a minute to review those? And then we will be all caught up on meeting minutes except for today's meeting.
Make a motion to approve the Recreation Commission meeting minutes, November 29, 2022.
I second it.
Motion made by John, seconded by Jen. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of March 15, 2023.
Second.
Motion made by John, seconded by Tim. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
That was the last time I talked. It was June.
June
Yeah.
is
How
the
about
last
that? I
time.
just saw it. Yep, right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the June 20, 2023 minutes.
Motion made by John, seconded by Tim. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Fantastic. Number 7, topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance. I'd like to get a meeting date on the calendar. So I threw out the 27th, but that's the lunch,
The
this
dinner,
volunteer luncheon.
appreciation.
Do we want
Oh, we
to,
can go early though.
early, is the luncheon at 6?
At 6. Yeah.
Does 4:30 work for everybody?
Do we have a game?
What's the date?
March 27th?
Nope. 4:30 will just be done practice.
4:45, is that
Yeah,
better?
that's better.
4:45?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so does that work for everyone? March 27th at 4:45?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Anyone else have any other topics not reasonably anticipated 40 hours in advance of the meeting?
We don't?
If not, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by John, seconded by Tim. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned at 5:54. Thank you.